why did we break up? Have we hooked up since we broke up? Have we been with anybody since the breakup? Do you think we'll ever get back together?
How long do you think you could have gone without being sexually fulfilled?
So my dad watches this too. Hey dad. Sorry dad, I'm just gonna fucking say, will you have sex with somebody? Hi, it's G, and this is...
Hello.
And we're gonna do a little interview skis because I just had this idea pop in my head, and yeah, I feel like it'd be an interesting thing to do. I would like to share my personal life, and I also think it'd be really cool to look back on how I was feeling and how I acted when I'm in my 30s. I'm 24 now. All right, these are really personal questions. Are you ready?
No.
Okay, then we can just stop right now if you want.
Okay, that was a great video, guys.
Thank you so much. So how long did we date for?
We dated for over a year and a half.
How many? So it was...
We started dating in...
December 21st?
So
like a year and 5 months.
Yeah.
So under a year. But when did we break up?
Like February? Yeah.
I remember exactly this day
Oh,
because it was the day before.
It was February 13th.
The day before Valentine's
Yeah,
Day.
yeah.
It was February 13th, 2022.
I don't follow any.
Okay, so how long has it been since we broke up? Wait, 1 second. Wait till
It's
that's
been like 4 months.
February, March, April, May, June. Yeah, it's been 4 months. Well, it's July, so it's almost 5 months. Okay, why did we break up?
We broke up because Philip doesn't want to be in a monogamous relationship right now.
Yes. Right now.
Yeah, that's all I know is right now.
I am a monogamous ass bitch. Have we been with anybody since the breakup? On the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yes. Are we seeing anybody right now?
Yes.
No. I personally want to stay single for as long as possible right now. I'm not... Even the thought of entertaining a relationship right now seems exhausting to me, so... Yeah, I'm also learning how to rewire my brain to not look at people as prospective mates, which is kind of really hard because I've been doing that all my life, but it's a process and I'm really excited about it. Yeah, single Sally. Okay, have we hooked up since we broke up?
No.
No. No. That's a boundary crossed right there, if we ever did. And do you think we'll ever get back together? On the count of 3, ready? 1, 2, 3.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Do you think our friendship would bother our future partners?
Why? Well, if it did, they wouldn't be partners.
Interesting.
It's like so simple. It's like I have friends and like Jan and I were together, but now we are transforming our relationship because I think that we're both mature and emotionally intelligent adults who can, if they want to, evolve their relationship and go from partnership to family or friends. And it's like,
no, family.
Yeah, it's like it's so simple. It's like if I was ever with someone that felt jealous, we could totally talk about it. But if they were to set hard like boundaries, being like, I don't feel comfortable with you seeing them, I'd be like, I see where you're at. I'm not gonna stop seeing them because you're putting a limitation on me. When like I totally respect where you're at. You're totally valid to feel these feelings, but I'm not gonna limit myself because I don't think I'm being inappropriate. Unless I was being inappropriate. If I was in a monogamous relationship, those are different situations. But yeah, and I totally see people being uncomfortable with that. That's such a common thing, but I don't have time for that. I really don't have time.
It's so funny that you say that. You're like, oh, I wouldn't entertain that. No, I don't have time. But you're so patient.
Okay.
You're so
I'm really
like,
patient.
If we were in
really
this situation,
patient.
you would have been like, oh, sweetie, like let's talk about it.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
I feel like the way that our friendship is transforming, no, I don't think you would bother a future partner of mine because I'm really clear on setting boundaries. Like,
Yeah.
For me, before I was in a monogamous relationship, I'd be so touchy-feely, cuddle puddles with my friends. But the moment that I'm in a relationship, I recognize that when I did that, I was exuding a little bit of flirtatious flavor in there. But the moment that I was in a monogamous relationship, I had no desire to touch anybody in an intimate way. Like, literally zero desire. No, I don't think it would bother a future partner. And if it did, then same thing, same deal. I would talk to them about it and try to get them down to a point where they don't feel that way anymore, or that we can talk about it, and yeah, I would be as respectful as possible. All right. What has been the biggest lesson we've taken from our relationship? For me, the biggest lesson that I've learned was how communicative you can be with a partner. before Philip, I dated someone who was really toxic and emotionally abusive, to a point where I felt like everything that I could possibly say would make them angry at me and uncomfortable. And there have been points in our relationship where I would express something and be like holding my breath, being like, oh, is that gonna bother him? Like, are you gonna be okay with that? And then he'd be like, oh babe, that's totally chill, that's so fine. And I'm like, this is possible. And I feel like I've taken that form of constant openness as the baseline of my relationships in general.
I'm like, I got nothing. Like, there's
Oh, ow!
Oh shit. There's so many lessons and takeaways from our relationship. This get edited out.
Yeah. But I'm also curious, like, do you think you've changed?
Oh, I changed immensely. It's like
How so?
I'm way more I'm way more present. Oh yeah, big takeaway is like being able to like communicate with specifically women. Like, do you want to be heard right now, or do you want to get advice, or do you want a hug? It's like just checking in with whoever you're with, because like people aren't always gonna ask you for things. They're gonna wait for you to do them. Yeah.
My gosh.
It's a big one.
Philip is one of the best communicators I've ever met. But there was a point in the beginning of a relationship where I remember feeling so upset and expressing to him all of my upset, being like, oh, can I just vent to you? I'm feeling really emotional. And so I poured... I'll wait till this truck passes.
Look at that loud ass truck.
So there was a day where I was feeling so overwhelmingly emotional. Oh, god damn. Noisy ass things. There was a day that I was feeling so incredibly emotional and overwhelmed that I'm like, Philip, I was just like upset on my couch, being like this and that and the other. I don't even remember what I was upset about.
Yeah.
And I looked at you and he was just staring at me like staring at me, like just nodding his head. And then he just moved on. And I looked at him and I'm like, what just happened? I'm like, what? I was so confused because in that moment, I genuinely felt like everything that I said was ignored and like passed over his head, and he wasn't there with me at all. Like, he probably was thinking about what he was gonna eat next or something like that. And I straight up was like, hey babe, I need you to be a little more communicative with me. I need some form of feedback to feel like you actually heard what I was saying. The way that I communicate with my best friends is that they ask questions to allow me to really dive deeper into what I'm going through. You don't have to answer or give me advice. You don't have to be there to like tell me how to fix my life, but just responding in a way that makes me feel seen is exactly what I need right now. And he looked at me and he was like nodding his head, and for a moment, like, we didn't say anything after that, and I'm like, did I just create like a problem? Are we gonna break up? Because this is so early in our relationship. And then I walked away, and the next time we communicated, it was like night and day. Ever since then, he's just gotten better and better and better and better, to a point where it's like, I consider you one of the most easiest people to talk to. You're basically a therapist now.
Yeah, people say that. I think it's so funny. Like, and I'm still navigating that. I'm still getting better at like knowing when to just hold space and when to listen. And I think I could do that better by just always checking in. And I always tell people when I'm talking with them, like, tell me what you need right now, because I'm not gonna always know.
Yeah.
It's like, if people could just like start before they start going off, or they start dumping or whatever they're doing in that moment, just being like, so I would love advice, or I don't want advice, I just want to be heard right now. Because most of the time, nobody wants advice. They just want to talk.
Yeah.
Like, people just want to fucking talk. And
Yeah.
more than half the time, when I witness people, they're always just giving advice. And I'm like, she doesn't want advice.
Yeah.
She really doesn't want advice.
Oh my god, all the freaking time I witness that. It bothers me so much.
Yeah.
You're saying that when you witness other people giving other people
Yeah,
advice?
like specifically men giving, like, because men are problem solvers. They just want to fix everything, and like that's how they support. But
Yeah.
that's not how people, or specifically women in this case, want support.
Yeah.
necessarily.
Alright.
Oh,
Part two.
Look at it.
Philip, why were you so quick to ask me to move in?
Oh, it's like made sense financially for you.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, that was my first. I was like, that's a financial move.
For me, it
Yeah,
was
really.
completely selfless. You were saying before, like, it was actually, it's splitting your space in half and sharing with a person. So like,
Well, I didn't think that far out. No, there was foresight, but yeah, it was just like, I really like her, and I could see myself being with her, and yeah, I don't regret it.
aw, I feel like a relationship would have been so much so different had we not lived with each other in that time.
Totally.
Like, so different.
Oh.
Like, when did you ask me? 2 weeks you asked me to move. First you said I love you.
Yeah.
Weekend.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, let's move in together.
Let's move in together. Yeah. I was like, great conversationalist.
Yeah, you too. I remember the first
Yeah.
conversation we had. I was like, wow, it's actually so easy to talk to this guy, which is so rare.
Yeah.
So rare. I was thinking about that today. I'm like, damn, there's really slim pickings in this city. When you don't have any dating apps, it's slim fucking pickings.
Even when you have dating apps, it's even slimmer. You're like, even the more, you know, I keep down. I'm not downloading them anymore. But like, there was a period where I just kept downloading them and deleting them, deleting, because I was like, I want to meet people, but it's like using those apps. It's like you're starting off on, like, is it the foot that you want to be starting off on? It's just like you're starting off on like just the physical. It's like, what about their energy, their soul? It's like you can't tell if you can have a conversation with this person not from this little blurb.
No, so true.
'Cause I'm like, I don't want to just have sex with these women. I also just want to get to know them first.
I don't only want to have sex with them. I actually want to know them.
Oh my god,
I
am not a eunuch.
Because ultimately, like, when it comes to relationships, I don't want to be in a partnership just to like get off on someone, to have someone make me feel all the love he feels, to make me happier.
Yeah.
I want someone to be in reflection of me, to help me become the best version of myself. And that means being triggered in the best ways, to have a loving, supportive, and communicative partner who's willing to listen to me when I'm triggered, or willing to work through, you know, issues and arguments, because that's what a relationship should be based off of, not how hot they are or how good the sex is, or, you know, it's just shallow shit that doesn't really matter in 10, 20 years. This is why I don't want to even fuck with that shit. Because I hooked up with a guy, I met him at a club. This was years ago. He was such a beautiful man. It was such a good connection. And after we hooked up, we hung out for a little bit, and his friends were joking around about his Tinder, and he still had the app, and he showed me his Tinder, and I'm like, I totally swiped left on you, dude. Like, I swiped left on you, but I hooked up with you in real life. So it's not accurate by any means. What was the biggest challenge within our relationship?
Biggest challenge was definitely that I wanted an open relationship, and I felt like since I couldn't get that, and I wasn't being as like firm, because I didn't want to be like, I want to be in an open relationship, I don't want to be with you. Like, it was really hard for me to like get to the point where I'm like, we can't be together anymore. And even then, I didn't explain myself clearly enough, because I didn't even know that was an option, really. Like, I knew of other people being in open relationships, but I was like, how do I like change our relationship and evolve that? So the biggest problem was I wanted to be in an open relationship. I just wanted to explore more in a safe way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's brilliant. And we did make a couple of attempts here and there.
Oh yeah, they weren't very strong attempts. They were just like, they kind of felt like they were
forced.
They were forced attempts. Like, you felt like you had to do it, and then we just didn't do it.
So I guess we're getting into it, huh? So the thing was, when we were traveling, we tried to explore what it would be like to be in an open relationship, but enough time had passed that nothing happened, because I gave Philip the go-ahead, like, where it's like, oh, we'll try kissing other people, seeing how that feels, and then moving on to bigger things.
Yeah.
Eventually. And nothing happened, and eventually I just saw him flirting with other women, and it got to a point where I felt so unsafe and insecure in that, where it's like, he hasn't done anything, and yet he's flirting with women. Is he creating more of an emotional connection that's stronger with other women than with me? And I feel like that really quickly spiraled and got me really anxious and in my head about seeing him with other women. But I never said anything about it, because my whole thing was, I want to explore this so I can work on it. It's not Philip at all. It's not me getting angry at him for being jealous, because it's totally on me to surpass what's going on with me mentally. But like, it came to a point where Philip just saw my face and he's like, dude, you're not into this. Let's stop. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, like, I just want you. And I'm like, all right, sweet. Bet. Like, let's do it.
Bet.
But obviously it's not gonna last in that regard when you're sacrificing your own needs for someone else. It's gonna eat at you. It's gonna fucking eat at you. And that's exactly what ended up unfolding in terms of us finally ending our relationship. And to be honest with you, it was probably really for the best, because I at this point in my life, I really want a monogamous relationship.
Yeah.
I don't have any desire to explore other people. As I said before, like,
Yeah.
I don't even want to entertain flirting with other people. It's not really that entertaining to me. Like,
Yeah.
I love having one person that I'm like, babe, I'm gonna love you up so hard, because it's like divided between me and my partner. That's a lot. That's a lot. Emotionally, mentally, I can't entertain multiple partners at once. 'Cause
Yeah. But it's like
a lot.
you also like weren't even being fulfilled like sexually at all. Like I was giving you love. I was like always holding you and telling you how much I loved you. Like that wasn't a problem. But like, how long do you think you could have gone like without being sexually fulfilled?
See, but the thing is, the reason why I wasn't sexually fulfilled is because I felt like you weren't present when we were having sex.
Oh yeah.
So it's like,
We
just
can
kidding.
wait. Yeah.
Should I wait?
Oh yeah. We can wait. No, just wait because like so that it'll go through clearly.
Oh, okay. You don't
No,
care?
I don't care about fucking strangers.
Also, my dad watches this too. Hey, Dad, Armand.
Hey, I remember his name.
You don't?
Yeah, I do.
What's my brother's name?
I don't remember.
Oh
his
my
name.
fucking god.
I remember
my
your dad's
sister.
name.
What's my sister's name?
Oh, I don't
And my mom.
know.
What came first, the chicken or the egg? For me, my lack of sexual fulfillment was more rooted in the sense that I never
Alan.
felt like you were physically. What did I say?
Alan.
Yeah, good job. Also, I'm talking about sex right now, so that's weird. I don't want to think about my brother. I didn't
do.
feel sexually fulfilled because I felt like his mind was elsewhere when we were doing it, and it's
Yeah.
clear that because you weren't sexually fulfilled, wanting to explore other people,
Yeah.
it just like it never reached a point of solidity, I guess, or balance.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like one was in creating imbalance within the other. What do you miss the most about our relationship?
Just doing things with you, talking with you. Like we just have like hour-long conversations about anything, and like my favorite conversations with people are like there's this balance between like deep philosophical, psychological, like whatever. As well as just like talking about absolute nonsense, like in the middle, like finding that middle ground where you're just like guttural laughing about like blades of grass or like donkey shit in the middle of the desert. It's like descriptive, vulgar. I know.
So specific.
I-
Yeah, no, I feel the same way, but it's interesting because I feel like we still have that.
We still have that.
Yeah.
That's why we're still friends.
Yeah, homie.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, nah. Yo, it's not.
Keep it
Yo,
tight.
keep it real, dog.
Keep it-
I came back and we lived together for a week. And it felt like we were dating again because we weren't having sex, which we didn't do before anyways. So it was just like, it just felt like we were back in our old patterns.
Yeah.
And there was even a point where you almost kissed me, dude, because you were so like
Oh yeah.
back in that.
I was just in the I was in the habit that from before.
Yeah.
Like, I almost kissed her like just.
It was just like
Instinctive.
a casual. Yeah, it was so
It was
instinctive.
super casual. I was
And
just
after
like,
all the little things out of relationships and partnerships that you would get that you can't get out of friendships, because I'm loving how my solitude, I love how being single I get to divide all my attention towards my friends and my family, but like I can't like do morning cuddles with them, I can't like kiss them on the nose and do cutesy shit, I can't do baby talk, like
Yeah, you
there's
can.
so many but it's different. There's
That's
so
true.
many
That's
little
different.
things that I love about being a girlfriend that I do for myself now, but it's so nice doing it for other people.
Yeah.
Like, I really miss the comforts of being in a relationship. I'm like, why would I miss something that I know I'm gonna get again in the future? I don't know that for a fact, but it's not completely gone forever. Oh, what's my non-negotiable?
Oh yeah, what's your non-negotiable?
My non-negotiable within partnerships is hot as fuck. I'm kidding. For me, my non-negotiable within a partnership is communication. After experiencing what it's like to talk so openly about everything in the way that we have, I'm like, if you can't communicate with me what's going on, if you're an avoidant ass human being, there is no way that it can work. Because for me, that transparency is so important for me, and I want to be a mom. I will be a mom someday, and to be able to create that strong foundation for my future kids, I need to be with a partner that's willing to communicate what's going on. And there are some men out there that just don't give you anything. Like, they give you jack poo, and I'm like, I don't need that, I don't want that, and I don't claim that. So, do you think it's possible for exes to be friends?
Duh.
Duh. Yeah, dude.
Duh.
Oh, dude.
Not always. Oh my god, not always.
No, very true.
I felt like a lot of my partnerships I started off of foundation that was based off of attraction.
Yeah.
It's based off of attraction. And if your relationships are starting off that way, I don't think they're going to last that long.
Agreed.
Don't think they're going to last that long.
This is why I deleted my dating apps,
Yeah.
because it's completely based off of attraction first, as opposed to like, oh, I want to just get to know who you are without me being obsessed with you.
Yeah.
And this is also why I do not want to have intercourse within the first at least minimum a month, 2 months of meeting someone, because having sorry dad, I'm just gonna fucking say it. When you have sex with somebody within the first 2 months of meeting them, the oxytocin, the chemicals, the attachment and the bond that you connect, especially as a woman, is so deeply woven and established that you have like this weird perception of who they are. And I feel like it's so easy to get clouded in this unhealthy obsession when you don't even know who they are, because you're like, this person provides me with this fulfillment of having sex, so like everything else is off the table. Oh, so what that he doesn't text me back at all? So what he is completely inattentive? We have bomb sex. No, none of that.
Yeah.
None of that.
'Kay.
Last question.
Yeah.
How is your heart now?
Fantastic. Better than ever.
Really?
Better than ever. Never been so open, loving towards myself. And through doing that, I'm more loving towards others, more compassionate towards others because I'm more compassionate towards myself. Doing a lot of self-work.
That's good. Which is also one of the biggest reasons, one of the biggest points that you had when we were breaking up.
Yeah.
And that was one of your first points where you wanted to work on loving yourself more. And I'm so
That was.
proud of you for getting to this point. You fucking did it. You fucking did it, dude.
Yeah, I'm doing it. It's an everyday thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an everyday thing.
How is my heart right now? I'm learning how to navigate being single again for sure, which is interesting because I feel like I hadn't been single in a hot minute. I mean, 1 year and 5 months. But like before that, I realized that I had been in partnership after partnership, in situationship into situationship, and these lapses of time in between have only been like 2-3 months. So I feel like I'm really ready to be single for the next foreseeable future. And it's kind of crazy to think about how I never had this mindset before. And I'm thankful because this relationship, especially living with you, gave me the insight to see that I'm not broken or incapable of having a long-term relationship. I just haven't really been with the right person. Like, I just haven't found the right person right now. Not to say that you were wrong. So, I think that my heart's doing really well right now. Really, really well. Definitely going through the ebbs and flows. Cancer season. God, fucking cancer season. Okay.
It's 2022.
Thank you so much for being in this video. I appreciate ya. I love you, man.
Love you too. So nice.
Yeah, you be the uncle to my kids.
Nice.
Can I be the uncle to your dog? I feel like you're gonna get a dog.
Yeah, definitely a big dog. It's gonna sleep outside.
Okay, let's stop this here. Thank you so much. And
Catch you on the other side.